So first up, we have Kansas winner Bubba Wallace versus the only guy that's locked into the next round, Christopher Bell. Start with you, Alan.
I'm going C-Bell. C-Bell has no pressure. C-Bell is leading the points, and he's just doing great. He's been consistently maybe the best Gibbs car at times in terms of speed, in terms of performance. No pressure heading into Bristol. I think he does great.
Bubba looks great at the bigger tracks, the 1.5 to 2 miles. I think he's going to have a good run at Bristol, carry the momentum in there. But I'm with you. C-Bell, the dirt racer, he's used to things happening fast. They're going to happen fast up in Thunder Valley. I like the 20.
That makes 3. I had the 22. He's been my sleeper pick all season long. Pretty consistent, and I think he's got no sweat in terms of already being locked in. Nothing to worry about. All right, next up, 2 guys that had woes in both races of the playoffs so far. Kevin Harvick versus Kyle Busch. Also 2 guys that we've seen can win at Bristol.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, the numbers are the numbers, and I'm not going against them. When the man wins 8 races at a racetrack, I'm going to bet that every time. So I'm that guy. If the roulette wheel keeps hitting red, I don't go black. I just keep betting red until it switches. Kyle Busch keeps winning, I'm picking Kyle Busch.
Double down. I'm going the other way. I'm going Kevin Harvick. Look, we have 2 former champions here, 2 drivers in positions that really have to do their best on Saturday night at Bristol. 2 drivers, I think, are a little bit in their heads right now, right? I mean, here Kyle on the radio, Kevin Harvick, what he went through at Darlington, the issue he had at Kansas, the must-win situation. This is a toss-up for me. I'm going Kevin Harvick, though, because his one option and one option only is he has to get that victory, and the only way to do that is to beat everybody, including Kyle Busch.
I'm going with you. I'm going Kevin Harvick. They've proven year after year, backs against the wall, they can get it done. Plus, I think with the announcement coming from Kyle Busch that's going to distract him this week, he's going to have less time to prepare. So I think we're going KH in victory lane. All right, next up, 2 guys below the cut line currently, Chase Briscoe and Austin Dillon. Steve, I'll start with you.
I know it's not dirt, and he ran well on the dirt. It's back to concrete, but I'm still taking Chase Briscoe. I think that the Fords are going to run very well here. I actually have Chase Briscoe moving from below the cut line to into the playoffs. He's going to do that with a very, very good run. I have Chase Briscoe, and I'm willing to say we're talking a single-digit run. Top 5, top 7 from this 14 car all day long.
Okay.
I'll go Dillon. It's a big week for RCR, right? Maybe it'll get even better on Saturday. I think he can beat Chase Briscoe. Austin Dillon, one of those drivers that just seems to be around and rise to the occasion at the right time. Doesn't always get the big wins, but in the time that he needs it, I think he can beat Chase Briscoe. When you look at the points, I mean, some of this is a heads-up battle, right, with the drivers below the elimination line right now. If you focus on those drivers, I think Austin Dillon 3 team can focus on the drivers they need to beat. I think they come out on top in this one.
I'm going Briscoe. I just think Austin Dillon's had good runs at Bristol, but he's had inconsistency at Bristol. A little more of a clean slate when you talk Chase Briscoe, doesn't have as much experience there, and I think that's going to work in his favor. He'll take more risks. All right, final backseat bet is going to be Ross Chastain versus Tyler Reddick. Alan, let's start with you.
I got to go Reddick only because if there was ever a time to knock Ross Chastain out of the way, all this stuff you hear about, the revenge is coming for him, the comeuppance is coming, this would be the track to do it because you can do it easy and keep on going. So not that I'm worried about Ross's talent or speed, I'm worried about the other guys being behind Ross. Tyler Reddick by default.
So I'm kind of, which Ross Chastain do I get to pick?
Exactly.
Is this the Ross Chastain who was very confident and wasn't afraid to run into people because that was the one that was successful? This new Ross Chastain that seems to be, he talks himself in a little bit of circles in his interviews. And that's not a knock. I think he's really trying to find his footing as a NASCAR star. He's trying to figure out who he wants to be. But I'm still going to take him just because I don't agree that payback is coming at Bristol because he's already through. You don't want to wreck a guy and still have him advance. If you're going to wreck the one car, you're going to knock him out. So if you were going to take payback on the one car, it was going to be either early in the round or in the next round. For that reason, I have Ross Chastain surviving the melee and outrunning Reddick.
See, I liked your argument about which Ross Chastain we're going to have, but I'm going to use that to pick Reddick. I think we've seen too much inconsistency. We're not seeing the same Ross that we saw at the beginning of the season. So going Tyler Reddick.
I think that's the toughest pick of the group.
Yeah.
What do you tell a timid Ross Chastain? Stay aggressive or no?
Oh, quit being timid. Listen, if I'm Justin Marks, I'd put him over there. I'd take him look at the card. So you see all those decals? See all those partners? We could pay for race cars. Just go be you. Because since you've stopped being you, we've stopped leading laps. We've stopped being up front. We've stopped being all these different things. Just be you. Now, that's really hard to be because he has to figure out who you is. And that's really what it is. I think Ross Chastain just has to decide, and it has to come from his circle. It might not be his owner. It might be his family. It might be his friends. It might be somebody else. He has to go back to that guy that kind of dug and ground his way to get this one seat. that's who he needs to go find out again.